So, drive on Lugnutz.
Let's start the show.
This week on the show, we have a cool new Toyota. Well, sort of. We have a rainbow Bentley that you're not going to want to miss. A smoother E for everyone, eventually. An ugly Lincoln that nobody wanted has been canceled. And the best place to find the used Porsche you've been looking for. And in Ferrari news, their lead driver left. Yep.
Drive on Lugnutz indeed. Welcome, gang. This is a Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers Media Network presentation of Lugnutz. I'm Matthew Bugrell, the Madman, and to my left is Stephen Bugrell, Big Brother, on this Memorial Day Eve, as it were. And we got a short show for you, obviously, the holiday and everything going on. Not a lot of news out there, but still wanted to have a podcast. There's a lot of stuff that you need to know, like going over to pjnwh.com. There you'll find everything that we do with the podcast, with Lugnutz and Triforce, including the highlight, the best moment of the podcast put right up there, and then you'll find the full podcast below, like last week's Triforce podcast, Yoda's Red Corvette, and Lugnutz last week was Peacock Chairs, Mattress Roof. And you'll find all of them out there, as well as where to contact the team. You can contact us. Damn mouse. There we go. You can contact us here. Let us know your name, your message. Find us on all social medias, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. And, of course, we start off with the not nerdy news, the automotive news. And it's Toyota.
I looked for Ford news, but Trump went to the Ford factory, and that's all anyone wants to talk about.
So,
he wore a mask for a minute and a half, possibly.
Wow.
They almost got a picture of him. They got a picture of him thinking about putting it on.
So while one automotive giant is preoccupied with a presidential visit, what does the other?
We have a very cool new van car, sort of.
Not really something that you'd say or expect to say.
This is the 2021 Toyota Sienna.
Okay. Yeah, Sienna.
Sienna.
Yeah.
It will be a hybrid. It has a 10-inch heads-up display. It has a fridge. It has 18 cup holders. It can tow 3,500 pounds.
Okay. Very nice.
It has a touch dash, 8 seats, 12 speakers stereo, 1,200 watt.
Okay.
It has everything you could possibly want, even a vacuum. So they're going with touch screens on the top there. It looks like they have standard dials, so I guess possibly a backup, it looks like.
You know, either or. You can never be too safe. Aircon separate from the touch screen. Normal kind of, but it's not the old traditional van where you just had the low console. Very Starship.
It looks like it has a lot of storage.
Nice red trimming, you know. That looks nice, especially for the Siennas, man. Siennas are a good minivan. Turbo Troy, he had driven a minivan out at many minivans amongst other cars back in high school. He drove a Previa as well as a Toyota Sienna. His parents loved Toyota.
You know, I did my driver's test in a minivan. I had to parallel park in a minivan. This is something we would have always loved to have in a minivan when we were growing up. They didn't have them. They now have come with vacuums.
That's pretty handy.
Displays in the back for the kids to shut them up.
Yeah.
243 horsepower. It'll get 33 miles to the gallon with a big old V6.
Man, I would not have minded going on car trips if you had like entertainment system, a vacuum, you know what I mean, a fridge.
It goes from 31,000 to fully loaded, the Platinum Edition, I think they're calling it.
Okay.
$50,000.
That's the one that comes with the wet bar?
Oh, I don't know. It comes with
If you spend an extra $5,000, they actually have a little guy with a portable hibachi grill, and he'll flip shrimp in your mouth.
But you're not like every other SUV soccer mom. You got a Toyota.
Yeah.
And it'll last.
So
I assume, because that's what they're known for.
exactly, but
And it looks good.
that's a
for
pretty
minivan.
stylish minivan, I will say. Nice
looks
body
good.
lines.
For a normally they're just
Flat.
boring and flat. This one they're giving a little.
They're giving it a little personality, especially
that
the back
Japanese
end.
pizzazz.
It's right along the lines of what they're doing with all their other kind of lineups, having that kind of weird back end like that, like a scrunchy face. I'm judging you, but not bad though. I do like it. It seems like a great van.
it's kind of exciting for a minivan.
Yeah, it's about as exciting as you're going to get with a minivan.
But you'll be very excited for this one. Bentley had a design contest for employees and family of employees. This
okay,
is what won. It was designed by Eleanor. No word on who Eleanor is. They will not be selling this, obviously. With all the colors, it would be rather expensive. That looks like gold rims.
Gold rims and all that paint there, like they lost to some other old woman to the cheetah print.
Yes, and they're telling this to promote the EXP 100 GT electric vehicle coming soon. This was inspired by a custom car that someone had built. It was judged by the design boss of the electric vehicle, Stefan
Arkell?
Staifan?
Oh.
Sorry, I got your name all wrong.
Stefan Staifan.
Yes.
So-
Stefan Staifan. What a name.
Steven?
Sure.
That was a show on Nickelodeon. But
I'm guessing he's probably from another country, probably Germany.
probably. Yeah, most likely. But
That's where they make cars, right?
interesting enough that
Or England, I guess.
Emperor Palpatine would be proud because it looks like the future is going electric.
Yes. Although Mercedes in the next story has something to say about the future. Mercedes, a lot of car companies believe that synthetic fuel is a possible option for combustion engines, and Mercedes is in the mind that says it's just not good enough for them. It's not efficient enough. There's too much waste. There's too much. It's just not up to their standards, which I'm kind of with them.
Okay.
So they say the future will be with electric vehicles. If you go down a little bit, we can read who is for. So I just need the first sentence. The automakers that like synthetic fuels are McLaren, Volkswagen, and Audi, amongst several of them.
Not surprised.
Yep. So they say there's no future in synthetic fuel. So
Yeah.
Mercedes will all be electric. Like that a couple years ago, they had that electric SLK AMG.
Yeah.
That thing was amazing when they previewed it on Top Gear.
I mean, I think it's just it's the classic style of automotive enthusiast versus the future here, because you do have to appreciate how much power and torque you get out of an electric motor. That's why they put them in hypercars. You know what I mean? So, and the hypercars, they're doing a mixture of both. To where, all right, if synthetic fuel isn't a viable option, something else, some other fuel source, and an electric, you could get
until another
insanely
viable
quick.
option comes up, they say they're going to go with electric. And they're not really, because synthetic fuel is just not as good as the dinosaurs.
Yeah. Well, maybe they should let it cook for a few 100 million years. Then it'd be good.
We'll come back later to the synthetic fuel. We just bury it and
Like, they buried all this. It's good now.
bury it. And it's safe, pressurized, maybe not in the earth.
You know what? Maybe you just pressurize it, man. You get some,
Or just
boom.
go with Mercedes and go with electric or whatever. If you have a comment on synthetic fuel, send us an email. We'll read it and talk more about it.
pjnwh@gmail.com or go to the website, pjnwh.com.
The Mercedes E-Class is getting a bit more. You can keep going down. There might be a photo of it. There we go. A bit more comfortable. They're going to make the whole driving experience kind of geared towards comfort.
Okay.
So the seats are improved for better back health. They don't, because people who have back problems, I guess, who
Okay. But I
Can
mean, fair
afford
enough,
a
yeah.
Mercedes.
A lot of old people.
You can customize the entire interior options for a short trip, a medium trip, or a long trip.
Wow.
I know.
So it's like Legos. You just take out
Everything in the
pieces?
car will be designed to aid the natural strain and relief muscles.
So it's an old person car.
Yes.
Okay.
Stops with hard braking and cornering. They're calling it the comfort control system.
So it's for an old person who used to drive fast, so they could still drive fast
No.
in comfort.
It does more. This is Mercedes.
Oh, of course.
It controls the aircon, the lighting, for a better mood. If we might have an interior view, the musical mood.
No.
For ultimate cabin atmosphere. No there's the
there we go.
interior. So they'll
Okay.
do mood lighting as well. Does your car do interior mood
I'm not gonna
lighting?
lie, that looks really good. I like how it's one screen.
Yeah. I like the two-tone, the up to bring your eyes up, and the other color to pull your eyes down.
Yeah.
Or to
I
make
like
your eyes
that.
not go down.
I
Because you
really
should be
like
looking
that.
out the window if you're in a car.
Yeah, that's really
'Cause
nice.
Otherwise, you'll crash into things.
Line of perspective right there, so you can easily see. It's not that. It's like maybe like a 10-degree.
Oh yeah, you
range
can
right
see
there.
everything probably from your peripheral vision.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
I like it. I actually like the
Four,
two-tone interior
five,
here
six,
with the.
6 air conditioning vents.
And then once again,
Fantastic.
aircon separate from the entertainment. I can always appreciate that. I like that.
Yes. Mercedes will not give up on you. Unlike Lincoln in this next story, they're really giving up, and we're really proud of them for it.
Okay.
So this ugly ass thing behind me here.
Yeah, we are proud of you.
This they're not doing this because of the coronavirus. So the coronavirus has taken another life of the
That's the only reason, huh?
the Lincoln Rivian.
Well, that just goes to show you, not everything is a horrible thing with
Yes,
COVID.
not everything
Sometimes-
is negative. We're
sometimes
not
you get
getting
good.
this ugly Lincoln that's apparently looks like it's built for the outdoors.
Sometimes you fail upwards.
Yes. So thank you for not making me look at that.
Yeah, EV startup, all electric SUV is fine, just not looking like that.
Yeah, all electric was their plan. They'll probably take the technology and put it into something.
I think I'm getting sick just.
It doesn't even look like a Lincoln.
Ugh, I feel sick.
I mean, I know that's probably a concept photo, but it doesn't. I know they're trying to not look like Lincoln. And
Was
they
your boss
do not.
really tired when he approved that? Like, you know what? Fine, George. Just whatever. Just put it on there.
The lights are very bizarre. They're like,
Yeah. I'd expect
Big
to see that in a
ovals.
bathroom, not on the front end of a car.
well, we don't have to endure this anymore.
it's
Fortunately,
gone.
Lotus thinks they're going to take on the Porsche Cayenne.
Oh, cute little Lotus.
That is, I think that there's photos below. So, for about $60,000, the Aurora GT is what they're planning. No, that's the only photo. Is what they're planning to be a competitor for the Porsche Cayenne. It'll have an all aluminum architecture. They plan to make it a daily driver because Lotus doesn't make their own engine. They may go with a Toyota or a Volvo.
Okay.
For the GT version, it'll be they're gonna improve it more. You can get I think you can get a regular Evora now at a Lotus dealer.
Now here's the thing with this one though, with this Lotus, you see how wide those tires
yeah.
are and how that's a good wheelbase. So especially with how low it is, that's really going to give you a lot of hugging in the corners.
It is.
So you're really going to grip the road.
They do look like Tom Segura got one recently, so he's been driving it. Of
course he did.
says it's amazing.
Of course he did.
Yeah, well, that's who I'd have drive it too. Cause, oh, am I in your way? I'm sorry, I'm in the dog's way.
Yeah, he just needs some room to lay out there.
So they want to have a starting price of about $60,000 so they can compete with everybody with Porsche. They're going for that.
I mean, especially at a starting price of $60,000, that's good and affordable. Especially if you're looking for that kind of a car. That may be just the kind of tipping point that you want, especially because it's a light aluminum frame, too.
Yes.
And aluminum will still have that, tensile strength to keep you safe.
So,
Push it away.
the Mazda is starting production now on the MX-30, which will be a electric vehicle.
Okay.
There's apparently a very high demand in Europe for electric vehicles because they have vastly stricter CO2 standards than we have here.
Yeah.
So they're trying to up production so they can keep up with the demand for electric vehicles. Because if they don't, whoever gets their car there first, I'm guessing, will get the most sales. This has 143 horsepower. It charges from 0 to 80% in 40 minutes. There's
That's
more
not bad.
photos below.
I actually really, just to point out that, I love that suicide door.
They're called barn doors, like the BMW
They're a truck.
M3.
And the Ford's trucks did that too.
Yeah, it gives you enough room to fit another person in the back. There you go.
Nice little small, crossover.
142-mile range, although 35 to 40 is what they plan.
Very, very interesting. Very nice looking rims, and especially with the barnyard doors, that really makes that whole, interior kind of work. However, you still got to open up your door to let the person in the back out.
142 miles is almost average for this generation of vehicles.
Yeah.
But
More something I would say to watch right now.
but
And see
the
what they
thing
come
to
out with later
watch would be the next story, which would be Tesla.
Maserati.
Oh, we'll go back to Maserati. I forgot. I'm going to go to Tesla next.
Okay.
I forgot about Maserati. I didn't write it down. So Tesla apparently, they have to get the EPA measures how long a car can go with batteries. So they took the Tesla, and they got 400 miles for a charge almost.
Oh, okay.
As you see there, they have 3% left.
Yeah.
And the EPA says they did not get 400. They got 391.
Well, you still have 3% left.
Yes, that's what Tesla said. We still have 3% left. You get those miles on that last 3%.
Yeah, you still have.
We're giving you 391.
You can't really see it there. Now you can see it above my head. They still had 3% left. So
yeah, I think might not be great for the battery, or maybe it is, but they got 400 miles.
it's still an achievement. Don't worry.
It is. It's so in the Model S. That's an amazing achievement.
Oh yeah,
400 miles per charge. That's a game changer for electric vehicles.
Something tells me it didn't come out they didn't come out saying it was 400. I want to say they said it was a little bit less, like maybe 250 or 3 originally.
391.
See, steel
is what? Well, it was
greater.
less 250, almost 300.
Yeah,
or something like that. But they did a lot of little tweaks and
little tinkering.
improvements. And
okay. That's
they
nice,
updated the software, and they're getting you more miles.
Look, if you keep adding more charging stations, it was a lot like when there was a big diesel boom before the whole Volkswagen thing happened. A lot more people were putting diesel pumps, Wawa, BP. They would all have those diesel pumps in there. I think if you keep having more of a demand in the electric market, they're going to have to add it in there, especially with quick charging stations getting more efficient.
Although the last story, it took 40 minutes to charge the Mazda, so you're going to be sitting there for a while.
Now that may also give you a different outlet, like at a rest stop, say. You have some kind of attraction there for somebody to keep entertained for 40 minutes, a restaurant, something like that, so you can charge it up, You'd
have to very carefully plan. You couldn't take any long trips with the Mazda. Yeah. Because,
oh my God, no.
It would take...
Rather just take a plane.
It would take a week to get to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you can.
Sorry, we had to stop and charge for 6 hours.
Yeah, no.
So we slept all night.
But whereas Tesla, once again, I said people have to watch out for Tesla because this story goes to prove it. Originally, when this came out, they didn't know it could go 400. They didn't even think that.
It's fantastic, and they have all those extra games and it sings. Apparently.
And I think so much more of the automotive market is used to being lied to where it says I'm going to get 35 miles out of the gallon out of my Versa, and really I only get 30. Well, you also gun it, drive it, but the EPA, they're like, oh yeah, we got about 35 out of that, and those are people who are professional drivers.
Yeah. Well, and also, like, how you try and avoid the first model, first generation, to get all the bugs worked out. Well, this one, they just updated the software, and everything was better.
You don't have to go in to get the software update either. You just need Wi-Fi.
Yeah, nice Wi-Fi connection, and automatically.
And I really think that people are going to be very surprised with how Tesla keeps continuing to grow.
Yeah, they're pushing the market, and he wants. We all want everyone.
About Maserati, what do they have?
Maserati, they have a brand new 2021 MC20 will be powered by an Italian twin-turbo V6. Wow, that's fantastic.
Taking cues from Alfa Romeo 4C, it's slated to be released in September. That's a really slick-looking Maserati, man. I love those. Almost like old Gen 7, Mark 7 Volkswagen GTI kind of circle head
the back
taillights.
end, it kind of reminds me of the kind of like Ferraris.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have that.
Yeah. Especially
all
with
those
the
rear
scoops on the
engine
side.
cars, and the sort of top slope of the roof kind of reminds me of the.
It looks tiny. I mean, I know we don't have any scale in this picture, but it
reminds me of another supercar.
It reminds me of kind of like a Lotus.
From this angle. Yeah, a Lotus as well.
It just doesn't have a crazy color like green or hot yellow or some shit, but it's just white. That's why. But yeah, it looks like a Lotus. It looks.
Although you expect
fantastic.
a lot of curves on anything Italian, because that's how they are. They're great designers.
They get sloppy after lunch.
Yeah.
No, I meant to make that. Okay, we'll keep it in there.
So, if you're thinking about the new Lamborghini SUV, maybe don't get that and get something else. Would you like to know where Porsche would like you to go to find used Porsches?
The dealership?
They would like you to go to Porsche Finder on the website, and you could find a Porsche for sale near you. This is a brand new feature that they're offering. I'm surprised they didn't. I'm surprised more dealerships don't do this.
Right. So
like, I want another Ford. Like, I want a used one. Yeah. And you can get that used one, a 911 GT2 RS for $419,000.
Yeah, about $420,000. So,
but it's a nice color green. You don't normally see it in green.
Yeah, green with the red interior there looks nice
with
the track, the kind of track style looking car. Even that one, if you are a big Porsche fan, this could be exactly what you're looking at, like a Cayenne hybrid priced at
and they're not all six figures. Yeah. I did go on and look. You can find some that are about to probably fall apart with six figures in mileage for really cheap, but. If you really like to work on cars, and it could be fun.
There you go. So, I mean, lots of great deals. I mean, at $80K, you can get a Mach-E Turbo. But once again, they don't look the same.
They do. They do. Well, they have a brand new design software at Porsche. It's called Silly Putty.
Here we go.
I just take it and there you go.
Now that is different.
Wow. Look at
the Taycan Turbo S costs about $209,000. But different looking. Still similar, but different looking.
Also, some of their...
that's all you had to do.
So also, some of Porsche's hypercars.
Yeah.
They also kind of don't fit that same Volkswagen look.
Yeah.
Beetle model.
I want to see more of that. I have no argument against Porsche if they keep putting out cars that different style like that.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay. I got nothing. That's
for
it.
Something that's four doors, I guess.
Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. Right. Especially you can just hop on the website, find the Porsche that's best for you, like this 718 Boxster GTS. Costs about $100K, but you can find it and you can get it. Making it a lot easier. I remember Turbo Troy. He used to take at least like a year or so to find a new car because he would scour the internet.
You can't just get anything.
Perfect gem, and he would. He would just pull out a perfect gem, like a '99 GSR, owned by an old lady with 80,000 miles with original interior leather redone. Whoop! Picked that one up before he even could walk again. That was after his STI. and he's still redoing the engine on that one and everything. But it's, you have this now, this little web browser to really help push you through. And,
If you're a Porsche guy, this is where you can go.
Mm-hmm.
Be like Jerry. Buy Porsches.
So
If you have $4 billion. Or
this
whatever
holiday
it is.
that's coming up tomorrow is kind of centered around families, even though it is to a Memorial Day.
Yes,
But
so we have a list of the best used cars from CNET.com, the road show, for under $20,000, specifically for families. They have the
Oh, that's
hideous
the one right
looking
there.
Ford Flex.
I gotta
But
tell you,
there's probably a massive amount of things that are falling down in front of me.
yeah. But, yeah, there's a massive demand for it because, one, they're also...
Well, there's also, I was going to say, there's a massive amount of room in there because it's just a box. And when you're a family, you need a lot of
Well, there's a
storage
massive
space.
amount of room, and it's also an extremely safe car. I've mentioned this before. The Turbo Troy, he had the SDI. It got taken out by one of these, a Ford Flex. And it, with the way that it happened, if he wasn't in a rally car, it would have gotten a lot worse. But still, really impressive with that. Very, very strong car.
And you want something for your family that's really gonna...
Boxy and bold.
The 2015 Ford Flex, boxy and bold. If you're looking for room, this is the car for you, I would imagine.
I mean, from the side, it looks horrible. But
It's not a car built for looks. It's a car built for functionality.
yeah, because you could fit a casket in the
This
back of that
is a
car.
lot like the old station wagon,
Yeah. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
nobody drives anymore. Except Bentley tried to bring it back a few years ago. It didn't go well.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can get this one for
People
starting
laughed
around
about
20
it.
grand. So check out the 15 Ford Flex. That's pretty impressive there. Like the 2019 Chevy Volt plug-in hybrid. The Volt obviously was one of those first kind of real,
Electric cars. You
Yeah,
do
after
see
that.
people. I do see a lot of them driving around nowadays.
yeah.
So they're still on the road. They're still servicing them, and something you might want to look into. And it's a hybrid, so you could, depending on your local area, get a tax something.
And it doesn't look bad. I mean, it does have a nice, very sharp looking, front and side, very small, compact sedan, but still very sharp looking, very nice.
Let's just see they didn't remove their license plate. So we'll go down to the next story.
The Volkswagen Golf TDI, the diesel.
Sports wagon.
Yeah, man, not a lot of people bought these. Because I used to
Yes.
sell these. Not a lot of people bought them. But when I drove them, man, they are so nice. Especially these in the snow.
I had several professors who got them because they had dogs, big dogs. The dogs fit in the back, and they loved the car. Had a nice ride. It's a great car.
The whole trick to Germans getting that real roomy interior feel is in the rocker panels. Their rocker panels go up higher. When you open up the door, you'll notice the rocker panel's up higher. One, so it's harder for water to come in. Two, it's giving you a lower center of gravity in the car. So that way you have much more up top above you.
Now that you mention it, when we were in the Volkswagen, we drove through that puddle that was like way too deep.
Yeah.
The water didn't come in the doors.
Because they designed it that way. Everything with Volkswagens, there is a reason why they designed it the way they did. They're very meticulous. It's very
Very
intricate.
German. We do things.
But that's
in
also why you
certain
don't want to
order.
own one after 100,000. I did. But I got a lot of miles out of mine. I can't complain.
People who love them don't really care. And if you can do your own work, that would save you a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
The 2017 Chrysler Pacifica, smart way to drive for your family.
Once again, minivan, but it's still
Minivan
flat.
doesn't always mean that's a bad thing.
Oh no, that has a
Refrigerator.
beastly
This
engine.
probably definitely has the video
Yeah.
screens and
Yeah.
all the amenities. The Chevy was one of the first ones to add the vacuum in there, I believe,
Yeah.
if memory serves me, which it doesn't always.
And that was just like, Chrysler and all that. It's just, they're very similar van styles to where I actually prefer that Toyota we saw earlier, the Sienna.
Yeah, that one's kind
That one's not 20,000 though.
Good old reliable Volvo XC70.
You still see these.
You will see these on the road for ever.
Well after we're all long and dead.
Yes.
In the future, you're going to be watching this podcast and saying,
When
yeah,
we're dead-
No, I still see that. Yeah.
When we're dead and aliens have scoured the planet, they're going to go, oh, look, a Volvo. This is what they drove. Because it's still here.
It's the only thing. The tires won't make it, but they'll get the idea.
You know, if you can travel across the galaxy and scour a dead planet for artifacts, I'm pretty sure you got it.
also
Subaru
have-
Crosstrek.
You also have nothing else to do with your life.
Yeah.
I'm going to go check that dead planet out.
Speaking
Back.
of cars that don't die,
Yeah, man. They just leak oil.
Subaru Crosstrek. Yeah. Little oil leak problem.
Just keep oil on it. The Crosstrek. Subaru, once again, they have that Porsche problem, but it's a solid body style because it's a great roomy interior. You get that storage space that you really want, and that's why the sedan kind of crossover market really kind of boomed, especially with Subaru.
Oh, yeah. And Subaru always sort of had that look.
And everybody owns them.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You get the best of all the worlds.
All-wheel drive, I think, in most cars.
All the cars all-wheel drive, yeah.
Fantastic.
Although last I heard, they're still very finicky with their all-wheel drive. So if you get a puncture in a sidewall of a tire, you're gonna be buying 4 tires. So just keep that in mind.
All right.
Honda Accord, nothing safer. I can attest to that. Ran one into a tree.
In this exact color, he ran
Yeah.
one into a tree.
Yeah.
The tree won,
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
and
it
he
did.
lost a shirt
Yeah.
because they cut it off.
Yeah, they cut it off, and I have a very
He was
entertaining picture.
standing and able to walk, and they're like, "Nope, sorry, that's policy."
Yeah.
think I'll
Strapped a
keep
little
my
neck
pants
on,
on.
little thing on my neck, and yeah, no, but that car, man.
Hondas, I don't think the air conditioner dies, or they used to die,
And I
but
actually,
they don't die. I think
I got gap protection, which is great. Always get gap protection when you're buying a used
always.
car. And with the Accord, I liked it since it saved my life. I figured I'll get another one. I got a TL, and it was right around the same kind of year as my Accord, but it's the same kind of thing, the same kind of car. That Honda and German style, the Japanese and German styles, you can't go wrong with those cars.
Yeah, and they all put all their latest, greatest tech into Hondas. So
Yeah.
whatever you're looking
Yeah,
for,
they do.
always look for something with low miles and check it.
And you can always find a Honda for under 20.
Something else that doesn't die. We were talking about its big brother earlier, the 2015 Toyota Sienna.
Well, I guess technically,
all-wheel drive.
we talked about the 2021, so that would be its younger brother.
We talked about its older brother, and this is its younger brother. Yes.
Yeah. Well, no, the new one would be younger, and the older one would be older. So the 2021 Sienna is the younger brother to the 2015 Toyota.
All right, whatever.
I'm well versed in automotive.
Here, minivan. Try it. Next.
Once again, it's a Toyota. It's not going to go wrong.
Mazda 2017 Mazda 6. Beautiful driving cars. They always have a lot of power, a lot of... they go for the driving excitement, as the commercials tell you.
Everybody I know that owns a Mazda loves them, and they'd want to buy another one.
Yeah. Keep you coming back.
Yep. So, especially if you're under 20K.
This is going to be along with the Volvo,
Yeah.
a Toyota 4Runner.
Yeah. 100%, man, because that's the classic H-frame.
And people who have them don't sell them.
Yeah, it's a classic truck H-frame on there, so it's not like the newer SUVs. It's the last of a dying breed, man. And that car alone with the traction control systems on that, fantastic find.
You want the frame for towing. You don't want a unibody for towing. The unibody is kind of safer for the people inside, but...
Yeah, fuck that. But you want this one. You want that.
Absolutely.
Acura TSX, man. Especially the wagon. If you could find the V6s, those are great. Sometimes the 4-cylinders have a problem with the timing chain, but if you're a mechanic, maybe you just change that shit. But TSXs are great cars. Expensive rims, about $800, but great cars. Don't crack it. And the interior, fantastic. It just looks like all the other kind of classic Acura interiors there. This one has the Navi as well as the awesome 6-speed transmission that they had in these. Flawless.
Oh, yeah.
Flawless.
What year did they say this one is?
They did not.
They did not. Let's see if it's in the story.
2011 to 2014. That was the prime time for the TSX sports wagon, and
201 horsepower K24 engine.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Nice, really great, especially if you need cargo space.
Oh yeah, and you don't really see station wagons anymore. I mean, it's a good-looking car and
I believe they added this one on, and they also had the ZDX around this time as well, which the ZDX just had a more slanty back end and more of a like a Honda Insight kind of flat back. It didn't go very long. Yeah, it didn't go very long, but it was.
People didn't like the flare.
So yeah, we're ending off on the TSX there for that one. So a bunch of great cars. We always love a good list. Great cars under 20 grand. Ending off with the great TSX.
Absolutely.
Of course, I always approve of an Acura because I have to.
Always like and share below.
Yeah, man, hit that like button, mash the subscribe button. Make sure you go over to pjandwh.com, contact the team, leave us your name, your email, and your message. You can also find us on all social medias right here.
Tell us about all your synthetic fuel dreams.
As well as anything luggy and nutty that happened to you. Maybe you have a sick build like our buddy Iron Kelly Collins with his Jeep Wrangler. Pop on over here to contact us. More than willing to have you on in the quarantine box via Skype and send us over your pictures. We'll gush over your car, man. This is exactly what it's for. Car enthusiasts talking about news and also great stuff that may may inspire somebody else.
We'd love to talk about your automotive passion project.
Absolutely, man. You'll find this podcast amongst others right here on the homepage. The funniest moment of this podcast will be right here, as well as the full podcast below. Title pending as always. So remember, it doesn't matter if you drive a Porsche Cayenne or a Yaris. Nothing rolls without Lugnutz. We'll see you next time, Walljangers. Drive on.
Pizza. Pizza. Cuckoo.
And instantly, it's a studio. It's like magic. Alakazam, kazoo. What's the thing to do to you? God, this is like a Legend of Zelda dungeon or something.
Yeah. Why didn't they just make a door there? Mercedes E-Class has improved seating. Improved ride, as if that was possible.
And shutting it off. Kombucha. So that was a great podcast. Third time's a charm. They're going to go right here in between us to click the subscribe button. Above my head, they're going to find the best podcast for them. And right above your head, that's where they're going to find all the Lugnutz playlist. Until next time, drive on, Lugnutz.